Good afternoon. My name is Craig Cook. I'm coming to you from the law offices of Craig Cook, and I want to talk to you a little bit about misdemeanors. Misdemeanors, of course, in the criminal arena. Although getting charged or arrested for a misdemeanor, I find it very hard to say you're a quote-unquote criminal. But we got to classify them some way. It's not civil. So, how bad is a misdemeanor? Now, what I'm going to give you here is generalities, and criminal gurus can probably come in and pick apart my definitions, because you have misdemeanors and then you have things called citations. Is a citation a misdemeanor? But for my purposes, I want to just say misdemeanors. Citations would be a moving violation, speeding, etc. Okay, a misdemeanor in both Arkansas and Oklahoma is usually a term of imprisonment of less than 1 year and a fine that usually does not exceed $1,000 to $2,000. We'll say that with a caveat. You don't go to jail every time you get charged or convicted of a misdemeanor. That's the maximum amount of time usually in both Arkansas and Oklahoma. If you're just the run-of-the-mill misdemeanor, that it's less than 12 months as any type of imprisonment, and more likely than not, unless there's some extenuating circumstances or something that somehow the person's made somebody else mad, will not require jail time. Common types of misdemeanors are DWI 1, 2, 3 offense, 4th offense. There's also some drug offenses, some hot check offenses, low dollar theft offenses, some types of domestic battery, i.e. first time with no substantial injury, etc. What I mean by that is domestic abuse. Now, if you have a domestic battery and you have an injury, even though it's your first time, I believe that you can be enhanced on up to a felony. But if you get a domestic battery, plead to it, come back and do it again, then I believe that is a felony at that point. But if it's your first time domestic battery, it should be a misdemeanor. Some type of drug offenses. This is an ever-changing, evolving world, ever evolving in the criminal world. You know, we're having more and more accepted practice of having marijuana as being a legal drug. That's taking up a big chunk of this. If you, back in the day, caught with a joint, you're scorned, prosecuted, sometimes put in jail, driver's license suspended, all that stuff. Now, both Arkansas and Oklahoma, you can get at least medical prescriptions for marijuana. Some states have it for recreational use, so at least in the marijuana arena, those drug offenses are dropping off or going away. There's a conflict between the state and feds. You know, if you've got marijuana that you bought or purchased from one of the dispensaries in Oklahoma or Arkansas, and you get caught, stopped by a state trooper with the other state, are you committing a federal crime? Are you committing another state crime? That's ever flowing. Some check offenses, this is going away because people don't have checks no more. So we don't have much of that. Low dollar theft offenses, that's still out there, and that is talking about the value of what you might steal. That again too is kind of going away because people are not paying in dollar bills, they're paying in credit card with a credit card electronic payment. So people don't have monies to be stolen. They only got credit cards, and credit cards can be stopped or prohibited from being used by the credit card manufacturer, and you get declining if you try to use it after it's been canceled. The most common misdemeanor that we have is the driving while intoxicated or driving under the influence of drugs. And then you'll still also, what still seems to be staying the same is domestic battery, because people, don't get along and fuss and fight. If you have a misdemeanor conviction, it can adversely affect your employment opportunities. What I mean by that is, if you are convicted of a misdemeanor and you want, let's say for instance, when you're 21 or 22, you get on down the road, let's say for instance you want to go into law enforcement. Well, they're not really all happy about hiring you for that. Or if you want to go into a teaching profession, they're not really happy about hiring you for all of that. The way you want to resolve that, or try to get rid of that past conviction, is call us and see if we can get it expunged or sealed. Some of these convictions can be expunged and can be sealed. And if that happens, when you make another application to a different employer, you can come in and say, I've not been convicted of X, or I'm not convicted of Y. And you're perfectly fine. Now, that does not work on some professional licensures you apply for, whether it be a lawyer or a doctor or other medical care provider. If you've done it, you better disclose it, or they will decline to give you licensure or a license. One thing that people don't know about is a misdemeanor conviction can possibly affect your gun rights. I don't have that written down here, but also an order of protection can. So in the push by some folks in the political arena to, say, restrict gun rights, but to certainly curtail them, If you have a protection order entered against you, your gun rights can be taken away where you can't go purchase a gun over the counter at Walmart or places like that. So you need to watch out for that. If you got a order of protection, if somebody files an order of protection, you need to fight those and make sure that doesn't get injured. Some of the domestic abuse cases, convictions could possibly affect your gun rights. So that's another reason that you simply don't need to blow off if you get arrested for one of these. Contact us at the law offices of Craig L. Cook by calling us at 479-783-8000, contacting us through our website, lawofficesofcraiglcook.com, or you can email me directly, craig@lawofficesofcraiglcook.com. Thank you.